From France, it is a very good morning to everyone as we prepare and get ready for race number 2 of the E4 Championship in 2025 in round number 1. We are at Paul Ricard, Le Castellet. It's going to be fun. It's the circuit in your picture which delivered us with a decent race yesterday. We are after more today, and luckily we have double the action with 2 races coming your way. First of all, starting off with race 2. Great to have your company, everybody, wherever you might be joining us from in the world, whether you are watching live or after the fact as well. But it is great to share these races with you, and it's great to have a bit more extra Italian F4 action, even though it isn't really Italian F4 that is going on right now. We've started from 0, and it's not K&B leading the championship. It is Mr. Gabriel Gomez, who will start pole position for race 3 later on, but starting on pole position for race 1 today, right now, is going to be Key Nakamura Berta. Exactly the position where we started yesterday in, and let's see how today is going to go for him. We are at the second race, as I mentioned, here at Paul Ricard, around a circuit that runs to 5.8 miles, and it's 30 minutes plus 1 lap on the clock for the drivers to try and navigate with, and hopefully they are going to be navigating them with some action. As I mentioned, a little bit more calmer racing when we held yesterday's races, so it's going to be quite good, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how today is going to unfold and how today is going to deliver us in terms of Freca racing and also E4 racing. What are we going to get? Let's run you through the starting grid then for the races then. Key Nakamura Berta on pole position. Reno Francock continuing to impress in the PHMEs in second. Gabriel Gomez, our winner from yesterday, is P3. Weldon is in P4. Alexander Bondarev in 5th. And then it's Maximilian Popov for Van Amersfoort. He'll go from P6. Unfortunately, yesterday he had to take a warding action and went right to the wall to do so. Kabir Anurag is in 7th alongside Alex Powell, who had contact at turn 1 yesterday, and then it's Zenuru Shi in 9th, Anea Fraser in 10th, and then it's Andrea Kostic in 11th, and Ari Banzel hoping for a better race, hoping to finish a race as he comes over to this championship. Alexander Savinkov is in 13th, Luca Ricciano is in 14th, and there's Bart Harrison, the driver, who'll go from P15, alongside Dante Vinci, who was contending in the top 10 yesterday. Alexander Ruta is directly behind his teammate, and then it's Terry Schropp, the driver, who will be starting in P18 for JBMotorsports. Then we find ourselves with Guy Albag on the next row alongside Salim Hanna, who had a great recovery drive yesterday, into the top 10. Emily Cotti was missed out on that top 10. She's in 21st. Badr Al-Salati in 22nd. And then we have Evan Michelini in 23rd. Ludovico Busso goes from 24th on the grid, and then we have Gaspar Bennett in 25th, Abdullah Kamil in 26th, Andrea Rodriguez in 27th, Peyton Rescott in 28th, and we have Ginevra Panzeri in 29th, and last on the grid, Bennett and Kamil delivering us with quite a bit of action, I have to say, when we looked to the back. When we got the opportunity to look to the back, they were delivering us with all the goods when it came to racing and overtaking as well. But well, we're all set. We're all poised. It is E4, the E4 Championship. You don't get to experience it too much around. I mean, the next 2 rounds are at Mugello and Monza. So in terms of outside of Italy racing for this championship, it's here. That's it. Italian F4 and also Spain, of course. Italian F4 goes to Spain as well. But other than that, it is this place where it's a little bit different, and where it's just as fun. We go to cam screen. The great thing with this live timing as well, may I just add, is that of course it's the same structure as the what do we even call it now? As the actual race happening. So it means that it stays the same from the starting grid procedure all the way up until now. So that's the good thing, because then I can come to camera screen earlier rather than it all looking very bad and all of that stuff. So that's a good thing. A very great launch of the line by Reno Franco. I mean, he'll be hoping to charge right into the lead like he did on the formation lap. he bolted off the line. He was literally like practicing the clutch and went straight past K and B, and then of course having to back out of it. He'll do it. He'll hope to do it in the real thing in a few moments time, and he'll hope to clear Key Nakamura Berta. What can Gomez do? Can he do the same thing from third? Will be interesting as well. Is he going to be able to go on the attack and then some, and then possibly make the overtake once again like he did yesterday? Can he maybe do the exact same? Can he repeat the same trick today? Most of all, if you are starting in third, it's about getting past second immediately and then tucking in the slipstream of Kei Nakamura, and then he will attempt the same thing as yesterday. It's going to be a very fascinating race, as we mentioned, still 30 minutes plus a lap. The same distance that we will be getting in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. That's basically going to be next up. After this, we have a nice little back-to-back. And then we have a bit of a break until we get to E4 Race 3. We arrive to scene corner. The drivers, at this moment, aggressively darting left, darting right, trying to get their tyres up to temperature. A reminder to you, if you are joining us for the first time, this is a championship that used to be called Euro 4, has been rebranded to E4. So it's now a championship that is, yeah, that has been rebranded, basically E4 now, as I was just making sure everything was working. YouTube is trying to suggest that the stream is buffering and everything, which I hope is not the case. I think everything's working. Think we are all okay, and we're all set, well poised for an Italian F4 contest, everybody. How exciting. Oh, E4 rather. There we go. It was going to happen at some point. Oh, I cannot wait for Italian F4 to be back as well. That'll be fun as we continue that championship. It's nice to do E4, really nice. And I'm going to enjoy this because the championship's going to most likely be close, and it might be a different winner, who knows. No guarantee that KMB is not going to win it, but like last year, it may not be the dominant man who you think, i.e. Freddie Slater not winning it last year, and it was Ashke Bora rather. So, I'll enjoy this because it's a shorter championship, but we're at a different phase. Italian F4 is like, we're getting to the business end of it. With this, just getting started. Both of them having their different funds. We're about to reach the end of the Porsche Super Cup and Formula 3 season as well, in a few weeks' time. And in October, all of the extra championships, GB3 FRECA, Italian F4 and E4 will all be coming to a close. All 4 championships being decided across 3 separate weekends. But there is no point worrying about what is to be decided when we're only at the start of E4 in 2025. Gabriel Gomez got a phenomenal launch yesterday, and he found himself taking the lead from third on the grid. He's P3 again. Can he repeat the same trick? Let's find out as we go racing in E4 once again with a stall on the grid further back, and a great launch for KNB, who is going to maintain the lead into turn 1. Franco did not get the getaway he wanted. He's under pressure, and there we see a switch. Moving through is Gabriel Gomez up to P2. Then it's Franco. Alexander Bondarev having to defend from his teammate. They might be in different liveries, but they are driving for the same Italian squad as we throw it down to the next corner. Weldon later on the brakes, and Weldon takes the place. Lock up ahead. Can they all make their way through the opening sector of this one? Lockups are plenty as we navigate our way through, but it is KNB who maintains the lead. Unlike yesterday, he's P1 as we head onto Mistral Straight. Great start for Kei Nakamura, but now the slipstreaming will begin, and all of the drivers will try and contend. All of the drivers will try and attack. Let's see whether anyone can do it. Who's going to make some moves? Who's going to be able to dart out of the slipstream and go for any dive bombs? Gomez getting closer to the lead. Has a look, but doesn't go for anything much more than a look at the moment, which is the correct thing to do. We are side by side further back, and we're very nearly making contact as we stand on the power of the road. We go in the background there with Enea Frey, the driver who had contact yesterday at turn 1 with Alex Powell as we started lap number 2, hoping to avoid contact today, and definitely had to use the off-road part of the circuit, which you have a lot of. You don't have barriers anywhere near the circuit, but the blue strips, the red strips, not good for your tyres at all one bit. They are battling their way through in the mid-pack at the moment around a circuit that is overcast right now. It is quite dark. More cars going off the road as they try and keep their cars pinned to the floor. That's Bart Harrison in the mix. You've got Harrison, and Salim Hanna's gained quite a few places on this opening lap as well, like he did yesterday. So Salim Hanna gaining more and more positions, and now coming under threat there. To the inside, I think, went Theo Schropp to try and take P15 away. They're all in a train, though. Oh, off the road we go. There's two more contenders. They're all off the road. It's a wild start to this one. Dropping down loads of positions. Ari Bansal, he's wheel to wheel. There, he's gained 2 more positions, but he lost loads of places off the line. Was he the staller, I wonder? Or did he have any other issues on the opening lap? Because he's lost so many places to find himself down in 21st. So he gained 2 places in the 3rd sector, so he gained some of them back, but he lost so many. That is wild stuff as we battle our way through, and that is tight. That is tight stuff there. Salim Hanna is under pressure, and he's up against Savinkov. So that was Savinkov who was putting the threat on and was trying to challenge his racing rival at the moment. Oh, damage there in the background. Damage there, I think, is that Luca Ricciano who's got damage in the background? One of the contenders with major damage, front wing damage there, so that will be a trip straight back to the pit lane. We go through Zenari Shi making his way through just behind, and he could be under pressure because Alex Powell's there to capitalize. Is he going to get the chance? Let's see. Out of the slipstream to the outside line goes Alex Powell. Into Scene corner. That would be a brave move from Alex Powell, but he's thinking about it at least for the moment. Can't find a way through on the outside. Does he get the inside? No. So neither route working for the Jamaican driver at the moment. There's a defense from Weldon as he tries to keep Bondarev behind. He tries to attack Francot. K&B's pulling away at the moment. Some of these races can be quite hilarious because it's like 1 second it looks like Gomez is the dominant driver of the weekend just because he took the lead on the opening lap. And then all of a sudden, now it's K&B and now he looks like the dominant driver. Even in a championship like this, around a circuit like this, overtaking can be quite tricky. Reno Franco wants to prove that wrong though. He wants to go on the attack and try to take 2nd place. He can't do it. Popov has a look as well. Powell has a look. So quite a few darts to try and basically scare your rival off the road at the moment. Can't do it at the moment. Into the braking zone. We are navigating our way through at the moment onto the Mistral Straight in a few moments, and all eyes will be to see whether we are going to get the moves that have been coming for a while. So that is, are we going to see Maximilian Popov possibly get by? Are we going to see Reno Franco get by? I don't know about any of those. Popov once again having a look, but there is some side-by-side further back, I can tell you. I think that is Al Salati getting very close to Dante Vinci. We'll look out for a Van Amersfoort car in the background in case there is some side-by-side at the moment. But I definitely was seeing some. Yeah, there we go. It's Al Salati who's got ahead, I think, of Dante Vinci, who'll try fight back. Think he's going to try fight back. We'll look out for that one in the background. He is getting to the inside. So Vinci trying to fight back up against Al Salati, who's moved up to 15th place at the moment. Enea Freya's lost touch to our train that goes down, you can kind of say from P1, but Gomez is doing very well at the moment, so he's trying to close it back that's why we can say it's from P1, but realistically at the moment it looks more like from P2. Right, let's come across the line and see the gap. Is it closer this time between Gomez and K and B? No, it's actually 1.1, so it's actually extended to the final corner, and he's actually lost touch there. He gained time and then he lost it. Into the first turn. Brilliant sights. Fortunately, we can't bring you the sounds or the sights on this stream, but if you are synced up with us, then it's an incredible watch of the cars. And if you are trackside also, as I mentioned, even more incredible. I think there's a bit of a plastic bag out there on the circuit somewhere. The circuit continues to get darker now. I know it got darker in earlier on in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine in their qualifying. I noticed it got darker and darker in that. I definitely remember that. So, quite fascinating stuff in that championship. So, if we look back to race controls for a moment, car 28, that is she who's been given a driving standard warning flag. And then we've had contact between car 21 and 66 to Dante Vinci, and that would also be Teo Schropp. And then we've also had contact between car 43, 77, 21 and 43. So 77 would definitely be Bart Harrison. And then we'd find ourselves with car number 21 being Teo Schropp. So those are some of the drivers involved, and then of course we got the car numbers along with their actual positions on the, which way is it? That way? That way. As well. We've got that. The sun's starting to poke a little bit back out on the circuit. So they continue to race. And they continue their push around this Le Castellet circuit, no longer, of course, on the Formula 1 calendar. But still, a great circuit for these drivers to try and learn their craft. And for series like this to come here. .1 second between Key Nakamura Roberta and Gabriel Gomez as we head down into the braking zone. So it's looking like it's going to be a very competitive E4 championship here in 2025. Gomez got the advantage in race 1. It looks like KMB, it could be heading his way now in race 2. And then it's Gomez back on pole position in race 3. So it is all to play for Gomez. Definitely the driver with the advantage, even if Key Nakamura Roberta does come away with this race win. But little advantages all can change round to round to round. Weldon's looking very quick, so he'll try and make a move on Rino Franco. Talking about a move, we could be getting one in a few moments' time. Because Maximilian Popov struggling there. He went all over the curb. So Popov trying to chase down Bondarev. He was all over the curb in the process. And it's bringing the Alpine Junior of Kabir Anurag into play. Weldon thinking about the inside up against Franco. Can't get there. Thought that was a move that we were going to get. It's sometimes the line. Because you make your way through, of course. And then you kind of get to this point where sometimes the driver can just send it. But no, he was just so much deeper on the brakes and then has to get out of it. And that's affected his exit into turn 1. Can Anurag find a way by into turn 1? No. Looking further back. I think we were getting a move there. And that's Alex Powell. Wheel to wheel. And going past. Alex Powell gets past. Nice stuff there. Susanna Rishi loses the place. And up goes Alex Powell. And he takes the position. That is a move that he's been attempting to do for a while, and finally, that is something that he can add to his highlights reel of E4 in 2025. He's made the move and he's moved up a position to P8. Tidy stuff from him. And now the other drivers will try assess that one. And we'll be like, okay, how do we pull this off? Because we're stuck in these trains. We want to get on with it. May I just tell you, it's not over in the battle for the lead, because Gomez has closed back in on Key Nakamura Berta. So it is absolutely game on between 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Include 8th, because I'm sure Powell's going to start closing in. Meanwhile, further back, Anea Frey, the driver who retired yesterday, wants to go on the attack today, and he's being squeezed onto the blue stuff there. He gets to the inside of Scene Corner. There's nothing between the pair of them as they navigate their way through. Frey still with the inside. She hangs on for the moment. On the way in, on the way out though, the JBMotorsports driver has got the traction. He's got a full car length ahead, and he's got the play. Super stuff there from Anea Frey. He gets past She, who drops down a position. And that was mighty stuff. Mighty stuff between the two of them, and She starting to struggle like we saw with a few drivers yesterday. Over the line, 0.5 of a second is the call. 17 minutes plus a lap to go. This race starting to get even more exciting, because it is not 1 second at the front. It is 0.4 as we throw it into turn 1. Savinkov is putting the pressure on She. Oh, so there's a big issue there for She. He's dropped down multiple places. Surely a problem. Surely a problem for She there. He has lost so many places. He was contending, of course, up against... He lost the position and dropped down to 10th, but he's dropped all the way down to 24th, and he's dropping down a order. Surely a trip back into the pit lane for him there. It is a trip. I think back into the pit lane. I think he is in the pit lane. Meanwhile, battle for the lead out front. Key Nakamura Berta trying to defend from our race winner from yesterday. Getting closer to the move. Can't find a way through. Into the braking zone of the North Chicane. They make their way through, and Key Nakamura Berta hangs on to it. This is when the race is going to start getting competitive, because now Key Nakamura Berta knows he has to defend this. He's going to go tight to the inside line. Gomez will try fight this one all the way around the outside into Scene Corner. It's wheel to wheel, side by side into Scene, between our top two in the race. And Gabriel Gomez is a full car length in front. Key Nakamura Berta defends it hard. Does he leave the inside line open? He doesn't. And the lead still maintained for Key Nakamura Berta, but he's off. He's off the road. Does that now give the chance to Gomez? Battling corner after corner in this race. And Key Nakamura Berta maintains the threat. He hangs on to it for the moment. Franco now looking to get involved and try get to victory as well. Over the line we go. Gomez is once again close. Is he close enough for a move into turn 1? Getting closer. Getting closer. Does he send it? He doesn't. He sits in behind, which is the correct thing to do at this moment in the contest. You do not want to risk your front wing. You do not want to take your rival out along with the other driver. You don't want to take your rival or yourself out. It's only 9 races, the E4 Championship. You've got to deliver. And it definitely looks like Gomez is a driver with mega pace this weekend. After taking the lead in race 1. In race 2, he's going to attempt to take the lead once again. This time much more later in the race. We're back down the Mean Stroll Straight. The main overtaking opportunity on this circuit. Are we going to get the change of lead? Because Key Nakamura Berta defends once again hard. Gomez places the car on the outside. That's fine. But the battle then becomes out of this corner, heading down to Scene. Because Key Nakamura Berta is all out of shape. And then Gomez now tucks in the slipstream. You got Franco there as well. We're battling for the lead. Down towards Scene. Does Gomez pull out? He sits in behind this time around and waits to see whether there's a chance. Franco's got an opportunity. Reno Franco nearly onto the blue stuff there as he tries to get by but can't do it. He's still got the inside line, and Reno Franco takes second place. Opportunistic move there, and as they battle for second, it could let Kei Nakamura pull away. Incredible stuff. Moving there, up to second is Franco, an opportunistic move. Gomez decided to back out of it. His momentum was killed. Franco says thank you very much. That is P2 for the PHM man. Well done! With a late lunge, thinking about it into the last corner, but can't get there. He has to chill and sit in behind, and quite literally chill. And now, as it stands, the top 8 are exactly in the positions that they started the race. Definitely doesn't tell you anything about what a contest we've had. It definitely doesn't tell you this. There's been a lot more going on, believe me, than the top 8 maintaining positions. You see, just as soon as you get a battle for the lead ongoing, the race just comes alive. It's a natural thing. What an E4 race this is turning out to be. And now, what does Franco have? Does he have the power? Does he have the push to attack our race winner from Italian F4 many times this season? In E4 right now, we know that Franco can be late on the brakes. Not going to attempt it into the North Chicane, but what he has done is use this straight to get closer and closer. Stands on the power. Gives it full beans on the exit. And then you drag up towards Scene, which was the momentum killer for Gabriel Gomez. And that got the opportunistic move going for Franco. It gave him the chance. Franco has to be a lot more closer than this if he is to find a way by. It's as simple as that. It won't be as easy as doing something special from 5 tenths, 4 tenths back. It needs to be 2 tenths, it needs to be 3 tenths. The gap that Gomez had when he was attacking, if it's not that, it's unlikely to be the move for the win. So Franco has to give it his all. He has to use all of his skill and talent that he has. Anurag could be under threat in a few could be putting Maximilian Popov under threat, I should say, rather. What a move it was from Reno Franco, though. Taking second position, and now he's contending for the lead. Over the line, it's 5 tenths of a second. Into turn 1. Popov tucking out, tucking in, doesn't know what to do there. 10 minutes and 20 seconds remain on the clock, plus 1 lap, of course. Brilliant. Absolute brilliance there from Reno Franco. What he's doing in this PHM car is unbelievable. And I can already guarantee you he's got a big future ahead when it comes to motor racing. He's amazing me so much with what he's done in 2 weeks. Literally amazing me at every single opportunity this guy gets. Okay. Now, can he make a move? Can he get by? Let's find out. He is tugged back into the wheel tracks. And he's glued to the back of the Prema, trying to get better traction, trying to make this one a fight. It is the closest he's been heading into Scene. But there is a lot to do if you are to get by. Kabiranurag, so close. He's going to get tired of seeing that Van Amersfoort's rear wing by the end of this race. Maximilian Popov doing well in this E4 round, and we're battling for the lead. To the inside goes Franco, and Franco roars by to take P1. We cut to that one late, but we see the move, we see the result of the move, and Reno Franco gets past Key Nakamura Berta and takes the lead in front. Superb stuff from him. And now Key Nakamura Berta tries to set it up to try and fight back immediately. Better traction he will hope for. Into turn 1. Reno Franco in the PHM leads the way. Incredible. Here we go. Towards turn 1. Does Key Nakamura Berta fight this one? Does he believe he has the pace to fight back? Reno Franco makes the move and hits the front. Wow. The PHM driver is the lead driver at the moment. Wow. Doing wonders in that PHM, if I'm honest. Which doesn't look to be as competitive as all of the other cars. But he is dragging it up there. A great move, a great opportunistic move to take second originally. And now a great overtake to take the position. Wow. Great overtake to take that. I mean, we didn't see it, but it was around the outside, surely. That was surely a move that was all the way around the outside of scene. And then he carried the momentum all the way through the corner. And somehow then ended up still on the outside and then got to the inside finally and took the place. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We were focused on Anurag. The one time we look away, the move happens. Which, I mean, sometimes, guys, that is why you shouldn't criticize camera directors. Because it would have been really nice to see that move. Yeah, there's other things going on, but, you know, sometimes the timing of it means that when you switch it, the greatest thing happens. So sometimes you can't risk it, even if there's a battle further back, and there's a great fight for the win, which, you know, we need to see the winning move. It's not always possible. So we just have to be a little bit calm, guys, calm. That's why we can't always watch everything. Wow, E4 looking to be, well, E4 looking to be hyper competitive, my word. Remarkable. And now, with 6 minutes, plus a lap, can Gomez do anything? Can anyone do anything to make this a battle and to fight back? Gabriel Gomez will want to get Key Nakamura Berta very quickly. And if he can, then can he go chase down the PHM driver in his path, denying him the win? Here we go. Gomez getting closer and closer. This was our battle for the win for so long earlier on, but a brilliant move for Francot spoiled that and made it a different battle. And made it probably even a more incredible story. But now Gomez wants to fight. Can he make the move? Here we go. Scene corner once again, where all of the racing has come so far. In terms of this lead battle, we're looking further back, but we need to be going back to the front to see whether Gomez can find a way by. Doesn't look like it at the moment. Gomez doing great stuff there. Over the line we go. Can we see anything made at the end in terms of any overtakes or anything? Down towards the braking zone we go. Fastest lap for Franco, my word, he is flying, absolutely flying. We'll be calling in for the victory moment in a few moments time. But here we go. Gabriel Gomez and Key Nakamura Berta into the braking zone. Is there anything left to do? This is E4. Anything is possible until the checkered flag can sometimes be even more unpredictable than Italian F4. With how little the season is. And with how wildly open it is as well. Round the final corner. Another lap will be begun. And we will roar on and continue to see this battle for second place. The sun's starting to come out a little bit more. A reminder to you that we have a Freca race coming up after this as well. Gomez taking the very wide line and nearly getting up the inside, and what he's done is he's scared Key Nakamura Berta off the road. We mentioned it about how drivers can do that to try to scare their rivals a little bit wide, and he's done that because now that's gonna kill K&B's momentum down towards the braking zone and the chicane. He's really struggling. Surely Gomez is going to get a chance. He's to the inside. Key Nakamura Berta's off. They continue on. And I thought that was the deciding moment. This might be the deciding moment though. A few meters later. It is neck and neck between the Prema and the US racing car. Up the inside goes Gomez. And Key Nakamura Berta doesn't even get an option to defend that. He tries to fight back. He tries to come back. Around the outside, that is brave. Can the Prema get there? He'll surely be out wide and too wide. Does he get the better momentum to try to fight back and retake the second place? He's having a look. He's thinking about it, but there is no way through. No clear way through at the moment. Unless it's audacious, unless it's something remarkable. And now, guess who's arriving on the scene? Weldon is over here trying to attack. Will this be... Well, let's see. Key Nakamura Berta really having to go on the attack. We make our way around the final corner. We'll get over the line and we'll get one more lap. Because we're going to come across the line with a few seconds remaining. Here we go. Yeah. We made it with a few seconds remaining. So, 2 more laps coming your way. Here we go. Down into turn 1. Gomez defends from Key Nakamura Berta. K&B has to be careful because he's at risk of losing a podium spot. If he goes too wild trying to retake second, it could mean he ends in 4th. Because Weldon is hungry. Weldon is there. And after yesterday, he was trying to get ahead of K&B and trying to take second place, and the chance faded away. He'll want it today, but he locks up. He locks up and nearly hits. He nearly hits the Prema car. Nearly makes contact there. And that was really, really close. As we now roar our way onto the straight. And here we go then. We're going to get the opportunity coming our way. Let's see. Who's going to make a move? Popov looks quick. He's up against Bondarev. It's wheel to wheel. Down into the braking zone. The North chicane. Does Popov send it around the outside? Doesn't look like it for the moment. Bondarev's out wide. And it is the up, the under, and position gained for Popov. He has to defend it though on the way out of the corner, and they are going to take each other out wide, and Urag's got a chance to get past a pair of them. Here we go. 5 cars, not separated by anything. To the fastest corner we go on the circuit. And Urag around the outside of Popov. Maximilian Popov still has the inside, and Urag goes on by. Extraordinary stuff. Bondarev went out wide. It opened the door, and Anurag says, "Thank you very much. I'm on my way to P5," as the rest of them continue squabbling everywhere. Bondarev drops down, 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 and up goes there, Powell. Powell's gained a place. Arriving on the scene is Anea Frey now, coming into the mix. I thought it was going to be Weldon and Key Nakamura Berta delivering the goods on the last lap. Never mind. My word. These drivers delivering all of the action. We're on to the last lap. 3.8 seconds between Franco and Gomez, who's still under pressure from KMB. Weldon's there to capitalize. Here comes Anea Frey. Tight to the inside originally. Then trying to get the cut back. Then trying to get the switch back. Can it be better traction there for Anea Frey? Is he going to make the move? Can he find a way through? Still getting closer. Has a look down the inside. Not enough alongside to dive bomb there. Here we go. It is 9.3 seconds between Anea Frey and Bart Harrison. That's the domination that basically our top 10 have had. They've been battling like crazy, but they've still got a mammoth gap, which is now 8.7 because it's coming down and down and down the more they battle. Into the braking zone we go on this circuit. Well, who would have called this? Key Nakamura started on pole. It looked all so competitive. The race looked so competitive after we saw the fading of the tyres and the pace dropping off for Key Nakamura Berta. Well, how about this then? The start of the line, it was perfect for Key Nakamura Berta. He dominated the race. It looked like we weren't going to get any competition. It all changed round. Gomez put the pressure on the Prema driver. He got himself into a position where he had to concede, and Franco took advantage. Then it was a super move around the outside to take the win. There's a lockup at the end, but he's got a 3.7 second gap as he comes to the final corner. Who would have called this at the start of the day? The PHM driver comes across the line, and Rino Franco comes across the line to win in France. What a brilliant performance from him. He's the first driver across the line. Gomez is in second, and Key Nakamura Berta is in third. Weldon's in fourth. Anurag had quite the battle at the end, along with Popov, Powell, Bondarev and Anea Frey. They are your top 9, and then we wait 8 seconds to get and welcome Bart Harrison to 10th. Andrea Kostic is in 11th. Vishian is in 12th, Salim Hanna recovered to 13th, Ari Banstel in 14th, and Dante Vinci your top 15. But the day belongs to PHM and Rino Franco. They're heading to the largest trophy of race 2. Wow. Apparently there's been some issues at the final corner. It is car number 28 who's had a moment. That is Zeneri Surely. He's stopped on our driver tracker. And then Vinci lost quite a few positions at the end. Wow. Rino Franco, how about that? What a way to enter yourself into the competition. What a way to properly announce yourself. One of the great motor racing wins. Wow, incredible. Right, let's run you through the results then after all of that one. Rino Franco, our race winner. Gabriel Gomez in second. Key Nakamura Berta in third. Sebastian Weldon in fourth. Kabiranurag is in 5th, and then it's Popov in 6th. Powell is in 7th. Bondarev and Frey is in 9th. We say thank you to the top 9 for all of the action in that race. Bart Harrison in 10th, then it was Kostik, Rishianu, Salim Hanna, Ari Bansal, and Dante Vinci. That was your top 15. Bondarev being the highest rookie driver. Savinkov was in 16th. Bada Al-Salati is in 17th. Then it was Teo Shop, and then it's all rookie drivers remaining, and they are Ruta in 19th, Michelini in 20th, then Cotti, Camel, Rescott, Bennett, Panzeri, Rodriguez, and then she retired at the end, so did Busso, and Guy Albach for our race GP. The fastest lap of the contest went to our race winner, Reno Francott. What a brilliant job, and Reno Francott's first win for a while. Great job, great performance. What a driver. Reno Francott has done the job brilliantly, and he is the race winner. Wow, what a win. What a win. On top of the car, saluting as the first driver across the flag into the hands of family, friends, and in a few moments, team as well. Because as we mentioned, it's not often that PHM end up in this position by the end of a race. It will mean so much. And after the podiums of Mugello, ever since Reno Francott's come, he's transformed PHM's expectation. It's no longer trying to get into points, trying to salvage some points out of every weekend. It is now a contender for podiums and wins. That is the quality of Reno Francott. Incredible. Wow. You do have to ask the question, though, how competitive actually is that car? Are we just seeing a Max Verstappen situation where Reno Francott's just able to extract everything and they need someone who can extract everything? Or is it just it suits his driving style, or what is this? It's hard to judge that PHM car. What we can tell you is, yeah, it's not really often competitive, is it? Ever since Reno Francott's come, it has been competitive. It's definitely not a top 3 team. I think we can definitely assert that. And that's even a stretch in terms of it even being 4th and 5th. But no one can really judge at the moment. Anyway, let's run you through your race highlights. A great start for Kei Nakamura. We were like, oh god, we're going to be here all day. K&B's going to dominate. Oh, this race is so single file. No one's making any overtakes. And then, all you have to do, everybody, is wait. Just wait. That is why you never leave before the checkered flag. Because anything can happen. And some fantastic racing all the way through. And there, Frey got very close as he was battling with Shi. And he centered up the inside. This was the start of some of the aggressive racing that possibly was to come in the future, we thought. And then, all of a sudden, it was wheel to wheel for the lead. Gomez having a look on K&B. We were like, oh, here we go. Now we're getting a fight. Now we're going to get a fight. And then K&B went off a few meters later and had to defend, and now ruined his momentum all the way through the last sector. And then, look at this. He had a look up the inside. Did Reno Franco. He tried to get past Gomez, and then he went for it a few meters later and got the move done. It was a remarkable overtake. And then he was able, a few laps later, to take the race lead with a super move around the outside, and he was the first driver to come across the line and to take the checkered flag, if I can get my words out. And he found himself with a great win. And now we can welcome the drivers onto the podium. Brilliant scenes. The Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine will be coming up next. And I think that's the next on-track action as well. So, on this circuit, doubt they'll be able to squeeze anything else in. So we'll be going for a double with Frecker. Wes will be back with us for race 3 and E4 later. And if he comes back to something like this, and another one of these races, then my word, we're going to have some finale of the weekend. Okay. We're just waiting for the top 3 to get themselves onto the podium. Trophies await them. The E4 Championship. Delivering us with the goods, isn't it? Great performance by Kabiranarag as well. Great to see him being competitive. It's not always been the case over the last few rounds as well. Into position goes Key Nakamura Roberta. At least he was able to salvage a podium. He didn't go for Hail Mary attempts up against Gomez, and I think that secured him P3 because he then was close to losing it to his teammate. Weldon was directly in behind him forward. Gomez comes onto the podium, and he is in second place and our race winner. Heading to the top step of the podium, Reno Franco for PHM Racing. As the trophies get presented to third, to second, and to the race winner. And to the PHM team as well. Brilliant stuff. And now it's time for the national anthem.
Néerlandais. Merci.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Franco, the Dutch driver, navigating all the hurdles that were put to him today to come across the line and to win in the E4 Championship. And that brings our coverage to a close, but do not worry one bit. We'll be off air, but we'll be back on air very shortly because the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine will be holding race 2 of the weekend. Who's going to emerge victorious? Freddie Slater starts on pole once again. Can anyone challenge him? Well, he'll have to join us to find out in terms of that in about 40 minutes time, I think is a better estimation. But for E4, we'll be back later on today, the final on-track action here at France, and we'll be seeing Gabriel Gomez on pole position. Can he make it 2 out of 3 wins? Join us to find out when E4 goes racing.